Turning now to another national story, conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed while speaking at an event in Utah on Wednesday. The 31-year-old Turning Point USA founder was on stage at Utah Valley University when authorities say a single shot rang out. Here's video just seconds before Kirk was shot and started bleeding. It stops right before the horror. Now, this is before he was rushed away as well. Now, the FBI and local police are joining forces on the investigation. They have arrested this man here, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson from Utah, as the suspect. His family members actually tipped him off to police. Authorities released video of the suspect running on the roof and scaling the building, which was about 200 yards away from where Kirk was sitting. President Trump posted online calling Kirk great and legendary, saying he was loved and admired, especially by him. Messages of support are coming in from both sides of the aisle, but some people haven't been as careful with their reactions to Kirk's assassination. One example, University of Mississippi officials fired an employee after they said the staff member reshared insensitive comments on social media regarding Charlie Kirk's murder. Chancellor Glenn Boyce announced the termination through a letter that was posted to Facebook this afternoon. This was earlier this week. The statement said, in part, all of us have a responsibility to take seriously our commitment to upholding a civil and respectful campus environment. And we are just going to open it up to discussion now. We kind of called this topic a little bit of political vitriol because the reaction is definitely dividing America in a way that we're seeing fall out in real time. So first, I just want to ask for you all's reaction to the assassination. I'll start with you, Otis.
Well, obviously, you never want to see anybody assassinated, and no matter what kind of political views they have, we have no place for violence. Hey, I lived through the 60s, and I saw assassinations every few years, some very vile assassinations. So this is a terrible thing. I think that we need to strike the right tone now. I do think that the governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has been saying the right things here, but we need leadership to bring the temperature down, and we don't have that. We don't have the leadership at the White House. We don't have some of the leadership here locally who spout a lot of vitriol all the time. And we need to bring that temperature down because all it's doing is fomenting more anger and more prone to people being prone to violence.
Scott, your reaction?
Well, first, my prayers to Mr. Kirk's family, his colleagues, and all of those who followed him and believed in him. Again, violence in politics, there's no place for this. And, whether you agreed with him or not, you should be sympathetic to his demise. Well, that's about all I can say, really.
That's fine.
Yeah, agreed on both points. And several things can be true simultaneously, like these things I'm about to say. I did not know who Charlie Kirk was before this week. Secondly, there may be people, there are obviously some people who are not aware of the anti-black, anti-woman rhetoric that he built his following on.
That's right.
That's true.
Right.
Thirdly, it is true that there is a continuing conflation of patriotism with Christian theology that I think is really coming to fore. And it's a troubling lifting of a false concept of Christian nationalism. I think it's very troubling because people are starting to say, well, if you're a true patriot, you believe in a certain way. That's just not the truth. Now, truth has nothing to do with what is right and what is wrong. Truth has everything to do with what is. What is. And I think if we deal with what is in our country, we can start to bring about that sort of calm demeanor as we argue positions. And I think Otis is right. Nationally, we're not seeing those kinds of leaders. Locally, we're not seeing those kinds of political leaders. But shows like this one, this is where the people are. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where thousands of people get their opinions, and they're not extreme either way. Right. So I think this is the kind of forum and setting that can help set the tone Otis is talking.
Right, you seem like you want to bite on that.
Well, I just want to be very brief to some points that Ken made here. I do feel for Charlie Kirk's family, but he was a very divisive person. And what happened here, he was shot and killed in a state that only has 1% African American population. He was shot on a campus that had 0.07% black population, and yet the very same day you have 4 African American colleges get threats. That's what I'm talking about with the temperature rising here. And we have to have leaders to denounce all of this vitriol before things continue to spiral out of control.
Scott, I know you have been quite quiet, but you are the last one on the note on this.
Well, you know, yes, it's the tone of the country, and you know they apparently have captured the young man who did this heinous act. I hope that full justice comes his way. I hope he gets a full legal process. I hope he gets a fair trial. But as I say, I hope he gets a fair trial and they take him out and hang him. I mean, you know, you know, but that needs to take place. But yeah, you know, this is not, you know, to me the far left Democrats. You know, I don't think that they caused this young man to take this action, nor do I think the far right took it. I think that there was something that he got indoctrinated in a group that convinced him that this was the action he needed to take, and that's what we need to root out of politics.
Most definitely. On that note, we do have to end the show here. Thank you, gentlemen, so much, always giving so much contributions to the show. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us next week for ABC24 This Week.